everybody, today I'm going to talk about my top 10 weirdest dreams. Now if you're new here, consider celebrating the bell. So before I start this video is going to be a little random, so hold on to your hats, but I kind of want to talk about some dreams that like really stuck with me, and I remember most of my dreams, pretty much all of them, but I kind of want to talk about the ones that really stood out, and I kind of want to talk about it. So yeah, let's get started. So number 10 is running away from school. So as a kid, I hated school, and I mentioned that in a video I did, I think 2 months ago now, where it was just like my experience with school and why I hated it so much. In this dream, it was kind of like a Billy Madison situation, to where I was a full-grown adult, but yet I was like in a middle school classroom for some reason. I was deciding I'm gonna book it, and I ran out of that classroom, and you know like how sometimes in dreams where like you think you're running fast, but in reality you're running like really slow, it's like slow motion. But yeah, that's what happened to me, and when I ran, or when I tried to run, these 3 teachers started going after me, and I was just running so much, and then for some reason, like in this dream, like there was 2 sides to where the school was, like in terms of like when I'm running out to the front door, there is our arcade. Yeah, a video arcade to the left of me, and I was like, oh man, I wish I could go to that. And it had like freaking claw machines and all that, but I didn't let my addiction stop me, because back in this dream, like I was like really addicted to claw machines and stuff. So I saw that, and then for some reason the cafeteria was right into another room on the right, so I was missing both things. And one of the things I forgot to mention is that I've already graduated, and I already know that in the dream. So I'm just here, just graduated, and I don't need to be in school anymore. So yeah, I was outside now, I'm like hopping fences. So, and then I ran home, and it was at the house, my childhood house, that I just kind of snuck in and pretended like I got out of school early. So like, it was just like, that was kind of like a crazy dream, because like for some reason it felt scarier than it actually probably would have been. But yeah, like in the dream, like I was running for my life. Like I feel like I've had this dream in several different occasions. So number 9 is Doctor Who. So I mentioned a little bit of Doctor Who on this channel, and I really like a lot of the series, not as much towards lately. The weird thing with Billie Piper being the new Doctor, I don't know what they're gonna do with that. In the dream, I was the Doctor, and it was kind of cringy. Like even back in the dream, like even though I was the main character, I was the main Doctor, like in my brain I was thinking this is really cringy. I was in the TARDIS, and actually the TARDIS was pretty cool. It was like a combination of like the 13th Doctors, and like I think it might have been David Tennant's one, the newest one, but it was a combination of those two. Like it was dark, but also like a bunch of like bright lights and stuff like that. But yeah, so I was there, and I was doing a really bad British accent. I am the most American person ever. Like I have no other sign of like accent. I can't even do an accent. Yeah, so I was one of the doctors, and I was traveling through time, which actually was the coolest part of the dream, is that I was just traveling through time. But then a couple of the incarnations decided to show up later in the dream, and it was the 9th, the 10th, and the 12th Doctors. I don't know where Matt Smith was, but they all kind of came to my aid, and I know there's kind of like this cliche of like the Doctor Who show, where it's like whenever there's like another Doctor or another Doctor actor that comes across in the same kind of universe or the same timeline, they always make fun of the TARDIS, and they say like,
I can see you've been doing the TARDIS up a bit. I don't like it.
It was exactly like that. Like, it was so crazy how realistic it was in that part, because like mainly the 9th was just saying I don't like it, and it's kind of funny that it was that accurate. But yeah, so then we all saved the planet together, and that was actually cool too. But yeah, like I have a lot of pop culture dreams, like characters in different movies and stuff, so that was pretty interesting. Number 8 is Indiana Jones. So with this dream, I was basically stuck in this ocean. Like it was literally like in the middle of sea at nighttime, and like I was literally on the edge of drowning. But then like for some reason, like you know like how scenes like transition suddenly, like it just popped into a new scene. So what happened is the wave started to go like kind of like an arc, like a riptide kind of. And I managed to go under this bunker that was just like trapped in the ocean ground. And then it led to like an office, like a hallway, where it was kind of like the Amazing Digital Circus, where it was like Pomni like running up through like all the office doorways and stuff like that. That was me, and I was running through, and then I saw Indiana Jones. I bumped into him, and then he turned around and shut all the doors to make sure the waves wouldn't get to me. I would say it was Harrison Ford in terms of like, it was kind of like in the middle of his age of like Crystal Skull and Dial of Destiny, where it was like kind of like the older Indiana Jones. But yeah, he saved me, and like we talked in terms of like wisdom and stuff like that, which that was the coolest part. Like I've always kind of wanted to meet Harrison Ford, but also at the same time not, because like there is kind of this thing of like don't meet your heroes and stuff like that. And I've heard from people that Harrison Ford is not like, he's not like mean, he's just a little shy. I think he has some anxiety of being like in like live studios and stuff like that, which I completely understand, because like that would be kind of nerve-wracking. I've heard mixed experiences of people meeting him. But yeah, so that was pretty interesting, but it was just, I really thought I was gonna drown in that ocean. Like, I thought I was gonna die. Like, there were a few dreams that were kind of like that, but... so the next one is Chuck E. Cheese Beats the Time Theater. So, I really used to like Chuck E. Cheese a lot, but then they're just recent L after L they taken. But what noticed me about this dream when I first had it is... it was in the setting of the original Pizza Time Theater. Like, I was actually working the night shift. Like, I was actually, turning off all the arcades for the night and stuff like that. Like, I was turning off all the machines and sweeping the floors. But then I heard the show, like, just start automatically. I'm like, there's no way I started that, because I was all the way on the other side of the restaurant. And then, Chuck E. Cheese, the 1980s original... maybe not as far as like smoking a cigar, but like he tapped on my shoulder, and then I turned around, and of course I immediately start running, but he didn't chase me back. It wasn't like a Five Nights at Freddy's thing in terms of that, where it was like they were trying to kill me. They actually wanted to be friends. The band told me that they didn't want to give her place, which was actually kind of sad, because like even though the timeline didn't match up compared to reality, like back then, the decisions that Chuck E. Cheese was making now, they were making back then in that dream. Yeah, so I told them I don't know if I could really do much. Like, I'm not part of corporate. So I could maybe try to convince them, but it was actually kind of crazy because they really wanted to be my friend. They wanted to keep it a secret that only I knew that they existed, which is crazy. Like, and like, I've always been kind of interested in like those animatronics and stuff like that. I think that was around the time I went to the Springfield, Illinois location to go see the animatronic, because it's one of the last few in the United States. I think it was around that time that I dreamt that, so that's kind of crazy. Number 6 is a rubber band maze. Now this one is going to be kind of the most hardest to explain. I got plopped into this Hunger Games type of scenario to where I just fell on the ground from a pretty big height. I felt like I broke like my bottom, like back of my spine. But then when I stood up, I was in this massive maze of rubber bands. Or maybe not rubber bands, but like basically just rubber, like that same color. So it was like basically like Maze Runner, to where it was like the entire thing around me was covered in like a big maze of rubber. And then I saw that my friend Tristan, which is a really nice friend that I've known for many years from my school, was there, and he got in that scenario too. So basically we were trying to escape. And then, weirdest thing happened. We weren't the only humans. Apparently Mini Lad dropped in too. Now, we all know what happened with Mini Lad. He is a freaking pedophile. He was there, and it was kind of weird because, like, he was trying to, like, not, like, defend what he did, but, like, he was trying to kind of, like, justify it. Like, he was saying his mental health, and I was just like, I don't care. Why are you even here? Like, we need to get out of here. So, and even though I told him I was a fan of him for a while, we were just in this rubber band maze, and we went through, like, different animals and stuff like that tried to kill us. It was just, we were also really small. Like, we were, like, the size of ants, in like a huge maze. Like it was almost like skyscrapers with how tall these rubber bands were. So yeah, we managed to escape, but I don't know what happened to Mini Lad, but me and Tristan got out. But yeah, that was probably the weirdest one that I need to explain, because I've never done this before to where I would explain dreams to other people. So hopefully people get it. But number 5 is Heidi from Meet the Feebles. So basically, I have been talking about this movie in the past few months of the movie Meet the Feebles. It's a very inappropriate or kind of raunchy R-rated puppet movie. And basically, spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it, and I haven't even seen the full thing because I'm scared. I just know the scenes. Heidi loses her sanity and goes on a mass shooting behind the show, or like when the show starts, or like the performance. And yeah, I was in the crowd. In this dream, I was in the crowd sitting, waiting for the performance. Like, it doesn't happen to where like she goes down on like that hanger thing. Like, she just walks over to the side and starts shooting. And then, I, of course, make a run for it because I don't want to get hit by a freaking bullet from a hippo. So, I am running, and somehow a scene transition happens, and I know when it happens. Then I got stuck backstage to where I was closer to her, and it was almost approximately the spot where Sid got shot, where it was like he was trying to like run over and save his kid in the real movie. Like he was trying to run over and save his kid, but then he got shot in both kneecaps. I'm surprised he survived, actually. I saw him and we were like cramped behind like a corner to where Heidi wouldn't see us. But in this version, in my dream, she saw us immediately and I thought we were both dead. But luckily she just kept on going. She didn't see us as a target. And then when I was running out of the actual stadium, that's when I saw from a certain point of view that she was pointing the gun at Bletch, which was the abusive guy. And then I saw that the whole gunfire go off, and then we ran out. Like, it was actually kind of crazy how not realistic it was for the movie, but it really felt like I was there. So it was pretty crazy. But number 4 is Fritz the Cat. So this is another movie that I saw in the past few months, and I think it's an okay movie. It's not like that great, but I can understand its historic impact though. It was like the first really adult animated movie to come out. He is a womanizer. He is not the best person and probably not a good person. But so basically in this reality, in this dream, me and him were friends. And it's kind of weird because like I was in my human form, but I was in the animated world at first. I was actually with him in the animated world, and like I was kind of like the voice of reason, kind of like a certain character that I'll mention in a second. But yeah, I always had to save him constantly. But then we got teleported to the real world. And it's kind of weird because I was already a human in this animated world, but then when we were dropped into human world, it was like all foreign to me. I had no idea what was going on, and he didn't either. So then I constantly had to tell him to not go places because he is just so woman-driven. Like, he would literally do anything for getting laid, you know? Like, he would do anything. So I was constantly trying to save his life. It was kind of annoying. He was kind of annoying on that. But then Duke the Crow, which was actually my favorite character in that movie. He's actually my favorite character in that whole universe. I think I like him better than Fritz. Oh yeah, I definitely do. In terms of personality. He was there too, and then it was kind of like the scene in like the 9 Lives of Fritz the Cat. It kind of played out similarly, where it was like Fritz went over to hug him, but then that's kind of where it ended. I don't remember much after that. But yeah, it was actually kind of interesting because it was almost like in the Ralph Bakshi's Coonskin. It was almost kind of like that because it was like in a live action world. So those movies kind of crossed a little bit. So yeah, so that was interesting. Number 3 is Surge from Burger King. So I mentioned that I love Surge, and sadly they got rid of it a few years ago. But we might be heading towards that path to where they might bring it back with them bringing back Mr. Pibb. So hopefully they'll bring back Surge. I've had multiple dreams of Surge coming back and I was really excited. But this one kind of played out a little bit differently. So first thing happens, I woke up in the middle of a blizzard. Yeah, so I'm just in the middle of a blizzard. I woke up, I'm like laying on the snow, and then I woke up and I'm like, where the heck am I? So I am freezing cold in this blizzard. I barely have any protective clothes. I thought I was gonna die of hypothermia. It really felt like I did. And yeah, so I had no shoes. Like, I was almost really underdressed for this weather. I was walking towards a city. Luckily I saw a city. I was like, oh my god, I gotta get help. So I walked and it was horrible. Like, it really felt like I was walking in 40-degree below zero temperatures. So I walked there, and luckily I ended up in a Burger King, and I walked in there, and like, I told them, hey, I just woke up in the middle of this blizzard, could you dial 911? And they did, but while I was looking around, I actually saw that Surge was still available, or I think it came back in the Burger King Freestyle machines. I think they just felt bad for me because, like, I walked miles in the snow and somehow survived. So yeah, that was interesting. That was really weird. And I really want Surge to come back. That would be really great. Number 2 is Abandoned Splash Mountain. So I've talked about Splash Mountain in a few videos to where I feel like it was the wrong decision to at least replace it with something that was inferior with the new Princess and the Frog ride. But this stream was interesting because I got caught sneaking in there. So I snuck in, and it was kind of like some of those videos where that one guy was going freaking crazy, going and finding all these old relics of Disney, like the Commodore, or whatever that was called, Communicore? I think that's what it was. And I actually was riding the ride with no water, but like in the dream when like I was splashing down into different areas, I was just like, it was just like so much screeching of the wood, and it was like really weird. But then someone caught me, and he didn't tell me because I actually was filming a YouTube video for sneaking into Splash Mountain. He said, hey, if you give me a shout out, I won't tell them, and you will not get a lifetime ban. So I was like, okay, yeah, sure. I was dumb and I didn't think about it. But then he took me to the secret restaurant that was like almost like in Splash Mountain, but it was kind of like underground a little bit. It was like a secret restaurant to where all these cast members would eat that really had a Splash Mountain theme. Like, there was so much amazing food. And I think it's kind of like the, oh, what are those called? It's like the underground kind of areas of like Magic Kingdom that they don't really talk about that much. It's almost like that. It was pretty much like that, to be honest. But yeah, he told me that. And then I never got the lifetime ban, so I guess that's a win. But yeah, that was crazy. Alright, and number 1 best stream I've ever had is a lightsaber battle, of course. So, I love Star Wars. It's my all-time favorite, like, franchise in terms of, like, movies and stuff like that. But basically, in this stream, I don't know what situation happened, but I was at a skate park with my brother. There was this guy who was like not leaving me alone, like he was kind of almost trying to rob me. So there's this weird kind of thing that I really think is underappreciated in Star Wars. It's kind of random, but there's this shot in the Force Awakens trailer to where like Kylo Ren like stomps his foot to the side and like launches his lightsaber, like he's ignites it. It's really badass.
Dark side.
Yeah, like, it was really cool. It was like every lightsaber dream that I've ever had, I have to start it that way or else it's not, the lightsaber won't start, which is weird. So yeah, I got the lightsaber out and I got green, and then he got one out and of course it was red. And then so many people around us knew that it was a lightsaber battle going on and they wanted to join in. It was really weird because like limbs were literally being cut off. It's just like, there were literally like arms and legs and like wrists and hands all over the place. Now it seems graphic, but in reality it was pretty fun. I managed to not kill the guy that tried to rob me, but I managed to injure him enough to where me and Caleb ran away. So that was really weird. So thank you guys so much for watching. I know this video is gonna be a little random. I might put a couple illustrations to like kind of like branch things together. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace.